Okay, this is Capture Point Adjunct A3 by Bereth. It's a 5-cat map, and in contrast to the last time that we reviewed it in the Gameday Feedback, it definitely has gotten a lot better. Like, I definitely had more fun playing it. Something that came up in the game day, though, was that, like, not by us, but by, like, just the players of the map, was that, it was still kind of a bit boxy. Like, second definitely looks better with the open side. That definitely looks cool, and I like that you bring in the balcony. Again, it looks cool. It looks fun to detail. But even Dr. Element had a good idea for mid, like in the sense in terms of detailing.
Well, yeah, basically what we talked about is that this midpoint, it looks really a lot like a lot of other midpoints. It uses a very common formula, which is a bridge with a point on, and then you have some roots underneath. And of course, that's not a bad thing, because the reason it's used a lot is that it works. It's just that the really successful maps, they have some kind of memorable thing about this formula, like Badlands have these train cars in the valleys and all the huts on poles. And then Gullywash has this little spire which the point base is placed upon, which kind of breaks the sightlines. And yeah, those two maps, I think we can all agree, they are pretty good 5ZP maps, good inspirations. And what we were talking about was basically that these pillars which are placed on the side of the map, they could be such a memorable feature if the battle was revolved a bit more around them. I don't know, so you could take these pillars and say, I want to kind of have these as the interesting centerpieces in this mid, and then redesign the mid after that. Try to make it revolve just a bit more around that. I think if you can pull that off, it would be a much more interesting midpoint to fight on. And what else? We did talk a bit about why it is a good idea to make a map memorable like that. You know, this layout is one of many that are going to be submitted to the 2 skill set contest, which is basically that one person makes the layout and then somebody else takes the layout and details it. And a memorable and unique map is much more likely to attract attention, because it's more likely to inspire some good ideas. And for this, after thinking a bit, we're thinking that these pillars could be the pillars of a bridge, which could be in construction, you know, with the huge grey block ahead of us being the hanging roadside, something like that. So yeah. So basically, if you make this more unique, then you have a better chance of actually selling it. You could say it's marketing.
Yeah, even like when we first kind of proposed the idea to ourselves, like, what would we do with this if we were taking it into part 2? And it took us a bit of time just to get kind of even like the bridge idea, and like what else would you do with it. I mean, I guess in that same sense, there's a few maps that you could say the exact same kind of thing, where it's like, oh, what else would you do with the theme? But it does kind of seem like it's an issue, maybe a small issue. So another thing that we noticed in the map was that between every single connector route, except for the one leading to mid on the bottom, there's lots of doors, and I thought they were kind of interesting on the in a few instances where it was so surprising learning what was inside of the rooms, like when you're trying to take them. Like, you'd think they were kind of safe when you go inside. Oh, there's like 8 people in there, and then you die. And it was kind of funny. It was humorous. It was interesting. And I think it's kind of cool because, like, I think in general, a lot of people avoid using doors a lot like this, and then because you've suddenly started using them, I'm not sure if it's a good thing because I'm not very good at 5-cap, but I thought they were interesting. You know, they were different. Even like in maps that, not saying anything, not like implying anything, but in maps that aren't very good, at least if they have differing geometry and they have differing gameplay from other maps, then that's like an immediate +1 to those kinds of maps. That it's just fun to play on. It's for a little bit at least. But what Dr. Element was kind of complaining about with the doors was that it was difficult to tell which door led where because they were all doors. And something that we kind of both touched upon was that it was difficult to tell which route was important. Like the second last room looking onto last, you see 4 doors, and it's difficult to tell which door leads where in comparison to last. Like the first time you get in here, which one's the important door? Probably the garage door, but it's difficult to tell the other ones, I guess. So even like when I was playing during the game day, I avoided the top tiny door, and as it turns out, this is like the best spot to take out the sentries that were behind those short walls over there that kept killing me, and I didn't even know. So just, yeah, conveying that they are important. It doesn't just come in the detail stage, with which a lot of people talk about. Even like in last week's game day video, Icarus was talking about that in a few of the maps, was that it is kind of the alpha part of a map's job to also convey importance of areas in. Like, there is like a sense of aesthetic that you need to get right in the alpha stage of the map as well, just so that you direct players' attention well and stuff like that. It doesn't just all come from the beta stage.
I must say that's not exactly the most important part of my criticism with doors. You know, if you're an idiot tryhard like me, you like to know kinda sorta what's ahead. And the thing that there's doors here does not bother me. It's just that every single route to last point, for example, has a door. And it feels like it's it breaks some of the diversity you could have in the routes between the points. You know, and one of the parallels I used just for the sake of comprehension was the thing with modern military shooters, which has a lot of guns that looks differently, but in reality they are pretty much the same in how they shoot and operate and all that. So I feel like a good 5ZP map should have some variation in the routes that you can take to the points, between the points, all that. I think this map lacks it a bit because all these doors, yeah, they're not very different. You know, it's pretty much a door, and then you have one area, and then you have an area on the other side, and they are both on the same level and all of that. And of course, there's the fact that you don't know what's behind the door until you get inside a perimeter of 3 to 4 meters or something like that. And it would be nice to have in mind that some people do not like this, and that they'll probably want to avoid that. You know, oh shit, I don't want to refer back to Badlands as much, because then I'm going to sound like some douchebag competitive, I don't know. But, you know, the final bases in Badlands, they have doors everywhere on the ground level, pretty much. But if you don't want to take a door, you can actually go up the spire and just jump in there. So it's just, I could use some routes that does not have doors. Could use some route variation in general. Variation, I can't speak right now.
Yeah, and even like that where, yeah, I agree. I don't know what I was going to say about that, but I agree.
Only that, it can actually be a pretty interesting map. Right now, it looks a bit too much like every 5ZP map else. It kind of needs that thing that makes it unique, that makes it stand out. And I think it's very possible to get it into this map, which is a good thing. A lot of 5ZP maps does not can't really get this unique feeling to it.
Oh my god, everyone's just running up to the point and then falling down the gap.
I was low on health, so I decided to bail. Whose map is this? Bereth? Is that who I saw?
So we've got Bereth, Berry, and Grizzly Berry.
Bereth, I really like this mid. It feels too square though. And this displacement is weird as hell. But I think you already know that.
Alert! The control point is being captured.
Pyro! You're gonna crit me, aren't you? Someone's gonna crit me. Oh no. Yes! Good shot.
Ah,
Go away! Go away! Oh. See, someone crit me. Two enemies. Screw this, I'm out of here. Oh, I forgot about that sentry.
Alert! The control point is being captured. Alert! Our control point is being captured.
Dr. Element, what is that supposed to be that you just typed out? Sunglasses?
How long does this Uber last?
Oh, they have a level 3 sentry on our second point.
Alert! The control point is being
How does he
captured.
not die?
Oh damn, the cowman gun doesn't crit. Well, that was useless.
Alert! The final control point is being attacked.
Oh shit.
The control point is being contested.
Oh, so Get on point.
um,
Hi, Icarus. How are
Back
you?
up to mid.
Yeah! We got the point!
Alert! Our control point is being captured.
Good shot.
Alert!
It's behind you.
Point is
There
being
we go.
captured.
Darn it.
Oh god.
I really do like this map. This is a really fun map. Whose the map is this? Bereth. Ah. Bereth. This is a good map.
Alert! The control point is being contested.
There's a scout behind you.
Yes, what about, what?
I keep on crit screening people who don't receive the crits. Maybe I should change. Oh.
You know, I had a thought. If you are near a friendly spy, and they are like disguised, a good idea would be to pretend that you're trying to attack that spy. That way it seems less suspicious.
Bereth, are you actually mapping this for comp, or just kind of for shits and giggles?
Shit.